This is the electronic service recovery aid, something that I had an idea for while working for South West Trains as a route controller in their control room at London Waterloo Station. As a route controller, you are responsible for dealing with disruption to the train service, whether that's trains being delayed or lines being blocked and therefore preventing trains running due to a number of different reasons that can crop up on a day-to-day basis. Now, on every route controller's desk there's a book called the Service Recovery Manual. This contains instructions on what to do for every train if it has to be cancelled or if it's running late, with often quite complex plans to overcome the difficulties that are causing the problem. Now, as South West Trains run over 1,600 trains a day, this is quite a large book, and it can sometimes take quite a while to locate the relevant information in it, so I just thought it would be much easier if there was a search engine on the screen that could be used to go straight to the information relevant to the problem that you're dealing with at the time. Now, the electronic version of the book works in much the same way as the paper-based version, in that you can either look for generic information based on a line of route, or for more specific information for one particular train that might have been heavily delayed or even cancelled. To demonstrate the generic information, I'm going to use the Waterloo to Poole services as an example, because in the event of one of those being cancelled, there are 3 other trains that have to make additional station stops just to maintain the service to the public. Now, to get into this information, I'm going to enter 2BXX in the search box. This is because all the Waterloo to Poole trains are known in the office as 2Bs, and the XX is just used to tell the system I want to know very general terms about these trains. So first of all, the system gives some very brief details confirming that the 2B services do run between Waterloo and Poole at 39 minutes past the hour. Then there's some information about the type of train that's used for them and where the train crew working the trains come from. If we click into the details of the service, it shows that if a Waterloo to Poole train is cancelled, then there are 3 Waterloo to Weymouth services that I have to call at extra stations, and that can get a little bit confusing trying to identify exactly which ones are involved. They could well already be on the move from Waterloo. The screen also contains information about what to do if a Waterloo to Poole service is running late, and also shows all the stations that the train is scheduled to call at. And this sort of information is replicated for every single route operated by South West Trains. Now, as I mentioned, there's also the ability to show what to do with one specific train, and to demonstrate this I'm going to use a train code of 2B27, which again is a London Waterloo to Poole service. If we enter this into the search box, it will take you to a screen confirming this is actually the 1039 Waterloo to Poole train. It shows you what type of train is used for it and gives precise details of all the drivers and guards who will be working the train during the course of the journey. If we go into the details for the train, it shows that if it's cancelled, the 1005, the 1035 and the 1105 Waterloo to Weymouth trains will all need to call at various extra stations along the way just to maintain the service at those locations. It also repeats the information from the generic screen about how to deal with late running of the Waterloo to Poole service and shows all the stations that they're scheduled to call at. And there's a screen like this for every single train that runs during the course of the day. Now, the system can also provide useful information regarding actions that need to be taken if the lines become blocked at any given location. As an example of this, if we enter Havant into the search box, a station down in the Portsmouth area, then first of all you'll see the search engine has picked up on a train which starts from Havant at 4:45 in the morning. What we want to look at though is the Havant station information. If we click on the station information link, then we'll see we've got a line blockage section. That explains what modifications are needed to the train service to keep things moving even though you can't run through Havant station itself, as well as details of when the station's staffed and some brief information about the layout of it, who's responsible for the electric power there, who controls the signals, and which other train operating companies use the station. So that's the electronic service recovery aid, a very easy to use system to make sure the right decisions are made in the quickest possible time in a very user friendly way to help overcome the problems which are caused whenever the railway becomes disrupted.